Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of SMG Fishing. Today we're going to be working on my Jon Boat. So we're just going to pick up today where we left off yesterday, and we're going to be cutting out the vertical supports for the front of the deck. I actually went to Home Depot and got a good set of blades, so I got multiple in case this one breaks. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Today we're going to get those vertical supports put in and maybe a couple more cross members in there. Alright, so let's get this thing cut out. Alright, let's see if that works. Alright, so this is actually a different piece of wood. What I ended up doing was I made a mistake. At the base of this piece, so from this rib to this rib back here is 40 inches. But from the top of here to the top of here, where the wood would actually sit inside, is about 38.5 inches or 37.5 or something like that. But anyway, so what I had to do is cut a longer piece of wood, and I had to keep the same angle, so I just curved it up a little bit. Kind of estimated. I wasn't really too precise with the measurements and doing increments like I did last time, but it actually ended up working pretty well. And then what I did was I had to cut this groove in here like this, so I could actually put the piece of wood inside this angled aluminum and then angle it up in there, because it's a very snug fit. I back it up to this piece of angled aluminum over here, and then I set it in the channel as best I can, and then I kind of slowly work it in and push it in the channel at the same time. And then when it's level, it's good to go. And after I did that, I realized that the top of this wasn't level with the deck. So what I just did, I took a straight piece. I just had an extra piece of angled aluminum sitting around. I knocked it up to right here, and I just traced underneath with a pencil, and then I trimmed off that extra piece. And I think it still has a little bit of a high spot right here in the middle, but what I'll do is I'll just take that and sand it down before I paint it. So what I'm going to do now is just trace this piece and then shove it in there, and hopefully it all fits. Alright guys, so I got the second piece cut. We're just going to throw it in here and hopefully it fits. Hey, how about that? Alright, you can definitely tell that this one fits much more snug, but we're going to shim that one up so it's bumped up in the back a little bit so that it is a little flatter on top. So I think the next step in this process is going to be to finish these vertical supports up here. So we're gonna have to figure out, I'm gonna have to figure out if I want this whole thing to be level or if I want it to take a step, or I'm not really sure. All right, so here's the predicament I'm running into now. I just laid this piece of flat angle aluminum up here just to show you guys if I did go straight where it would come up to. And I think that's probably what I'm going to do. So the issue I would be running into is if I had this flat all the way up here, is that there's this big hole right here that I would have to cover up. But I think that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just put a piece of plywood here to enclose that up, and then just go straight so I have a really flat deck. And then I'll have a nice lip over here too, so that stuff won't roll off. The reason why there's going to be such a big rail here is because I hate when I see people drop stuff in. You ever seen somebody, they lay their pole down on the side, right? And somebody breaks off or something, and they need to get in the rod locker really quick, and they go to open that rod locker up, and they're not thinking about it, and they open it up, and then that rod goes in the water. That's not what I want to happen. So even if you do open this thing up, it's just going to push everything over to the side. And that's also why I'm not going to lift this deck up here to keep it flush with this piece. It's going to stay flush with this. So I got this piece of straight angle here. The deck's going to come up to about here, and we'll just cap off that hole. That's not going to be a big deal. I'd rather have a little bit of a lip here than keep it flush and then have like a two-step deck. That doesn't seem right to me. So the next step in this process is just going to keep going and extending these vertical supports right here. We're going to go all the way up to the front. But first, I think what I'm going to need to do is take a piece of angled aluminum here and put it where my deck is going to line up with everything. Alright guys, so we're just getting finished up for the night, and I gotta say that I think I did pretty good for the night. Alright, so this is just an old deck that the guy had in there before. I just set it down to see what it would look like, but You know, so far this thing looks pretty sturdy, but let me show you what I got going on underneath. All right, so here what I did, I basically just duplicated what I had over here. I was able to use that as a template and just copy it directly over to this side because they're pretty much the same. There were a few variances and I had to switch it up a little bit. I had to like trim some spots down, but everything overall worked really well. Now since this whole vertical support right here isn't one complete piece, it's actually two different pieces, which actually made it easier to fit into the actual channel I got going on. So what I'm gonna do to give this some more support is I'm just gonna take another C channel. I gotta buy more. This piece isn't long enough. I'm gonna take this and just set it over top the two joints, and that should keep it pretty stable. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. I got these small pieces in here for now, just for an example, but we'll end up getting a full piece that goes from this piece of angled aluminum all the way back here, and then we'll do the same thing back here as well. That'll also give us some durability over the years. If I have that piece of aluminum on top, when the deck rubs back and forth, even though it's gonna all be bolted down, when it does rub back and forth, it'll probably wear that down over time. So we'll get some more C-channel from Lowe's, and then we'll be able to finish it all out. So after that, I went up here and I put this piece up here so I could tuck that piece of vertical support in here, but also what this is going to do is it's going to be able to give me just a ledge to keep my deck on. And what we'll do is we'll end up going across here to give this a little bit more rigidity. It's pretty sturdy right now, but we're going to give it another support there just to make sure that it stays. We may even use this rib down here to give it a little bit more support. But this basically just gives me something to set my deck on top of. But also I want to take and we're going to put C-channel on top of here. And then I'm going to take and put an angled aluminum piece on either side. That way it'll give us somewhere for our deck lid to rest on top of. That way when you step on the actual storage locker, it won't bow in like I have on my other boat, which really annoys me. This will be really sturdy and it'll give it some more strength and durability. And we'll do that all the way across. We've already got these two. We'll put it on that side, and we'll put it on this side as well. And so this hatch over here will have some stability too. And we'll probably do the same thing we got going on over here, up here, and come across this side too. So it'll give our deck lid some support back here as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We got some work done on the front deck fabrication because I know I didn't really go into a whole lot of good detail about this. If you guys have any comments or questions, make sure you go ahead and leave those down below in the comment section. If you guys liked today's video, make sure you go and hit that thumbs up button so I know that you like it. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you go ahead and do that. I put out a new video pretty much every week, so you don't want to miss out on the great content that's coming up. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.